Okay, this is literally six times a charm. Uh, I told you last week on Thursday to read the AP version of the interaction between Oedipus and Tiresias. And today I want to take time out to just like quickly review it. This would be lesson number 3 for Oedipus. All right, so lesson number 3 is the interaction between Tiresias and Oedipus. And the chorus says the God-inspired seer Tiresias is about to enter, and this is an epithet for Tiresias. And there are several epithets for Tiresias, just as when Oedipus first salutes him when he first enters. So this play is heavily charged with irony. The advance of the action consists of probing into the past. Every episode, which is an act, brings a new helper. So the first helper that comes in to help us solve the crime and give us clues is Tiresias, and each helper contributes a clue until the whole secret is completely revealed. So Tiresias is going to give us our first set of clues. And as he enters, as we recall that Creon had said we should call in Tiresias because the gods aren't going to give us any more hints about what happened. This event was many years ago, so we need to get some information about it. Let's call the guy who is a prophet and has insight. So as Oedipus greets Tiresias, he praises him with accolades, saying that he's the seer, the prophet who can speak to the gods, and he defers to Tiresias's reputation and shows him great respect. So here we have him like kowtowing to Odysseus, saying, "Oh, great one, so wonderful of you to come and give us your um, insight," right? And blindness and sight here, there's a connection between wisdom and knowledge and insight, right? So he is able to he's great, he has great wisdom, and he's also uh, known to the gods. So this is why they would call him to come and solve the problem of why is there a plague hitting the city. The plague infects the city. We turn to you. We're sure that you know that we had gone to the gods, and the oracle told us that in order to rid the country of the pest, we have to find the murderers of Laos. And so, so he says, "We implore thee, tell us what you know." Um, and then Tiresias says, "Don't ask. This is really awful, but I don't want to use my wisdom for this. I just want to go home. Um, it's the easiest way out of it for me, right?" So he says, "I don't want to do this, right?" And then Oedipus looks at him and says, "What? What ails thee? What's the matter with you? Why such a melancholy mood? Let me go home. Prevent me not. Prevent me not means don't hold me. Don't make me stay. Let me leave. Yes, but I see that your words lead you to an error, and I don't want to clear up your error." And Oedipus says, "You're Theban born. You're a Theban patriot. You should help us and give us a word of prophecy. O words, O king, your words are wide of the mark. I can't tell you anything. I'm not going to bring troubles to the light of day. You have not hit the mark. You're wide of the mark means you haven't hit the mark. You are clueless, right?" So then Oedipus says, "Oh, speak, withhold not. I adjure you," that means implore you. "If thou knowest anything, we are all your supplements. So please, I solemnly, earnestly implore you to tell us any information you have." And then again, "I'm witless, I can't tell you anything." And then Oedipus says, What do you mean you will not speak? You know something and refuse to speak? Would you betray and destroy the city? Would you betray the state? So here we see that Oedipus is beginning to show his character flaws. One character flaw is um, paranoia. We're going to see that in a minute. Second character flaw is anger, and the third is pride. In a lot of ways, he's like Alconquo. He's got pride and anger. And he says, "Would you not speak?" And you would betray us. And see, here's his anger. He's speaking with an exclamation. So you look at the punctuation here and can tell he's getting argumentative and infuriated. Then we go down. "I will not vex myself nor thee. Why ask thy idly? What do you want?" And then Oedipus says, "Monster," right? And now we have this rapid fire exchange of insults between the two. And that is called stichomythia. the argument is getting heated. I'm not going to vex you, monster. How can you, are you like rock? How can you not tell us what you're thinking? How can I loose your tongue? How can you have this dogged tenacity? And then, tachyturny, sorry. And then Tiresias says, don't blame your bad mood on me. You're really taxing me here with this belligerent attitude of yours. And then Oedipus says, you would insolently deny the request of the head of state. Um, if it comes to that, I'm going to be mute. You have a duty to tell us. Storm as I will, no matter how angry you get, right? You got your pent up rage. I'm not going to tell you. And then Oedipus says, yes, not going to stint my words, but speak my whole mind. Stint my words means hold back my words. Do you think because you're a revered old man, I'm going to hold my tongue and show you respect? I think that you could very well be the assassin. Maybe you had a part in the murder of Laos. Maybe you planned the murder of Laos. Even though you're blind, maybe you had part of this bloody deed, and that's why you're unwilling to tell us anything. And then Tiresias says, really? Great. I'm the murderer. So I'll tell you what, abide by your proclamation and banish me. I'll get the heck out of here. Tiresias tells Oedipus that he's the one who killed Laos, though Oedipus never met him. Tiresias tells Oedipus, he's the one. Thou art the man that is the accursed polluter of the land. And then Oedipus says, vile slanderer, how dare you blurt taunts at me like this? See, now he's really calling him names. Odysseus already called him a villain. Now he's calling him a slanderer, meaning that he's a nasty rumor monger. And Oedipus then says, you get to me to be mean to me and taunt me just because you're a prophet. You say mean junk and go free with no harm to you. He says, so you think you can just go scot-free after you've taunted and been rude to me? And then Tiresias says, I am free. I get to speak my mind freely. Even if you are the king, I have the freedom of speech. And Odysseus says, and who was your teacher? Methinks you're no prophet. Like, I don't think you are actually a genuine prophet who can foresee this future and that we should be respecting. Don't goad me. Don't make me speak. What speech? Repeat what you've said and resolve it. You didn't make any sense for me, even though you goad me? No, I didn't. Go ahead, say it again. I'm saying you're the murderer. You're the murderer that you are pursuing, right? And then Oedipus says, ooh, you're going to rue the day you said that, right? That's twice you repeated it. Just to really get you in a real rage, may I add a little more information? And said, oh yeah, go ahead, go, but you're wasting your breath, right? I say you live in infamy. So Tiresias is saying that Oedipus' wife is his mother, and Queen Jocasta of Thebes is Oedipus's mother and wife, and Oedipus killed Laos, making the prophecy come true. And then he married his mother, so his children are his brothers and sisters and children. The murderer is searching for himself. You think you're going to go unscathed after you've wagged your tongue like this? There are cliches here. Don't forget, a cliche had to be written somewhere originally, and then it's such a beautiful piece of writing that it gets repeated. So we might have wag thy tongue is wagging your tongue means like you're talking a lot, is a cliche from this play, and this like a cliche that's 2,000 years old. Wagging your tongue and cliche that is cliche now for speaking too much. Oedipus says, so you think that you can say whatever you want without any repercussion. And Tiresias says, it's the truth. And then Oedipus says, do you think you can talk like this and live to laugh about it hereafter? You are blind in mind and ears as well as your eyes. And Tiresias says, poor fool, pretty soon all those jibes that you utter at me are going to come back on thee. You're like the night. You're in endless darkness and you have no sun. You can't see the light. No, and you are anyway. So they keep arguing, and we go down here, and Oedipus makes this big long speech. Oedipus now accuses Tiresias of conspiring with Creon to overthrow him as king to take his throne. My one-time friend Creon attacks me secretly for wealth and power. He wants to drive me out and devises this trick with this beggar who has only eyes in his gains but blindness in his skill. Before I defeated the Sphinx, I answered the riddle. So I'm the one who met the Sphinx, answered the riddle. Where was all your great insight? How come you couldn't solve the riddle? Where's your gift of prophecy? I came and stopped her. I'm the great one. Mine was the knowledge that mine was not knowledge I got from birds. And now you expel me because you think that you will find a place in Creon's throne. So he's accusing Tiresias now of co-conspiring with Creon to take his throne. Creon is Jocasta's brother, so it's Oedipus's brother-in-law, and he thinks Oedipus's brother-in-law conspired with Tiresias to get him in trouble and then take his throne. And this thing about the birds, in myths, Tiresias can speak with the birds. So it's funny to have the chorus state in a dull, it would be funny to have the chorus state this in a dull monotone, because here the chorus interjected saying, oh, come on, guys, don't bicker. God has told us we have a mission to complete. So the way that they say this is like, oh, angry words don't help. And these guys have been like saying the most vile things to each other. And the chorus's interjection is so low key. Anyway, Oedipus you may be king, but I still have a right to free speech. I have no boss but myself. I am not Creon's boy, right? You have eyes, but you don't see. You're blind to the truth. Do you know who your parents are? Do you know the multitudes of evil between you and your children? You know nothing, right? So he's saying you're just so ignorant. It's horrifying how ignorant you are. And then Oedipus says, go get the heads, get out of here. And notice how he says 3 different ways, get out of here. Here Oedipus is like so angry. He does a complete 180 from like the beginning when Tiresias first came in. He says, when he was gushing with praise, now he says, hence, begone, avant, right? Get out of here. I never asked to come. Well, it was my utter folly to summon you. Very well, good. He says, what do you mean that what do you mean about my parents? Who begot me? The day your day of your birth shall be the day of your grave. Now, all of the play in what they call unity of time happens within a 24-hour period, and all these witnesses, one guy's leaving the stage, another guy's coming on. And so all this evidence is going to be collected. And remember, the play with the unity of time means that it shall be revealed everything within 24 hours, very tightly and succinctly. And Tiresias said, tomorrow will show Oedipus the truth about his birth, and this knowledge will destroy him. And then Oedipus says, why are you always speaking in riddles, right? Speak straight. Remember Friar Lawrence said to Romeo, homely be thy drift, riddling confusion. Finds riddling shrifts. In other words, when he's talking riddles, you'll end up making everybody confused. Talks plainly, homely. Here Oedipus tells Tiresias not to speak in riddles, but to speak in plain language. And then Tiresias says, are you serious? The great solver of the Sphinx riddle says to me not to speak in riddles. Then he says, I'm the great one, right? And here he's saying, I'm the great one. I have everything. I'm the keeper of the commonwealth. The change of Oedipus's fortunes, he's going to fall from prosperity into misery. This will not occur due to some great error. He arouses our sympathy due to the fact that he did not deserve the misfortune. It was due to an error. So Oedipus says, get out of here. Don't plague me anymore. I go, but first let me tell you why I came. So, oh no, before he leaves, Tiresias is going to make a big long speech, and in it he reveals all. Tiresias is going to lay it out before he goes. He says, here then, this man, and notice here where he says this, here then, this man, that means he's not addressing Odysseus specifically, he's addressing the crowd. He says, hear me, that man, right? Hear me, this man, is truly an outsider, but is not truly an outsider, but is a native born citizen, a true native of Thebes. And he'll have no joy in the discovery he's going to make about his real identity. He will exchange blindness for sight and poverty for riches. He will be proved father and brother both to his own children in his house, to the one who gave him a birth, a son, and a father. So now he's saying that it's going to be that he is like the father of his sons, the father, the brothers of his sons also, and his wife is his mother and wife. So that's what he's saying here in this long speech just before he leaves, and then he exuants and he exits. So this is an important note. At the end of the first episode, Oedipus goes into the palace, which is called the Skene, while the servants lead Tiresias off along the Paradis, thus indicating he's leaving Thebes for entirely. All right, so remember he said, I want to get out of here, I don't want to be here. And so when he leaves, he leaves Thebes entirely. And then we go to the exit of, oops, no, then we go to the chorus. And when the first episode ended, the actors withdrew. The next part of the play acting section is called the stissimon, and that's because these are all the chorus speaking, or the plural is stissima. And it's performed in the chorus in the orchestra. The stissima is performed by the chorus in the orchestra and requires dance movements along with chanting and singing of strophes, anastrophes, and epoids. They move rhythmically in the number of stanzic, like stanza, stanzic strophes and antistrophes, counterturns, and epoids, units of following songs. So there's one strophes go across the stage like this, and then the antistrophes go across the stage in the opposite direction. And they're singing and they give more information and insights to what just occurred in this previous episode. So this goes on for about another page, and then after the chorus has sang these parts, Creon enters, and he's really angry to hear that Oedipus defamed him by saying that he was a traitor and tried to steal his throne. And Oedipus had no evidence. So where did that come from? And so we'll get into that next time. This is about a 20-25 minute lesson, and that's good enough for now. Okay, thank you for sharing, and we'll see you in class.